So we have another foldable bike here up on the channel, and foldable bikes are nothing new in the cycling industry, but the e-bike industry is basically taking this over. Now, foldable aspects of bikes have been around a very long time, and I'll talk about the history of that as we get further in the video. This is the all-new Gforce T7 with over 130 miles of range. Gforce is not sponsoring today's video, and these are going to be my unbiased words, but we do have a video sponsor for today, Phantom Wallet. So with that being said, let's get this video started, and we'll talk about the sponsor later in the video. So as we talked about earlier, the Gforce T7 has a range between 110 and 130 miles. That'll all depend on your rider weight, what mode you're in, and the surface that you're riding. But with that being said, I stopped right now because I want to show you guys that I just hit the 20-mile marker on the odometer, and 0 pellets are missing on the actual battery display, which is absolutely insane to me because usually when I'm hitting around 20 miles on other bikes that have 60 to 80 miles of range, I'm in and around the halfway point. But that's also because I'm in a higher pedal assist level. This only has 3 pedal assist levels and throttle only, which we'll talk about further in the video. But I guess what you guys really want to know is what's the price of this bike? $1,999. Now, when you're looking at this bike, whether it's on Amazon or on their website, you're gonna have to pull out your wallet. And that's where we talk about today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Phantom Wallet. Phantom has wallets that can fit any budget, any style, have RFID protection, and come with a lifetime warranty on all models. Whether you want something simple, slim, and on a budget like the Phantom S that can add accessories like a money clip, coin holder, or an AirTag, or if you want to have something a bit more high-end like the Phantom X that is all aluminum and can add accessories like a coin holder, cash holder, ID holder, silicone band, and more, or if you want to go full minimalistic like the Phantom C MagSafe wallet that can attach to your iPhone, all great options to keep you organized and minimalistic on a budget. Thanks again for Phantom Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Now let's do an overview of the T7 and break down how this bike is able to achieve such high range. The T7 doesn't have a total listed weight, but I would say that it's safe to assume that it's between 85 and 90 pounds. The total weight capacity the bike can carry is 400 pounds, and it definitely feels like it can hold that. You can't look at the frame without noticing that massive rear cargo tray. The frame is made out of 6061 aluminum alloy and has dual rear coil shocks that can be adjusted for dampening and rebound. Moving on over to the fork, it has 110 millimeters of travel that can also be adjusted for dampening and rebound. Also up front, you'll find an LED headlight, and on the rear, you'll find an LED tail light. Moving on up to the cockpit, you have a very soft set of grips that are flat and ergonomical in design that are pretty typical with today's electric bikes. You also have a 3-inch display, minimalistic controller to be able to navigate the display, a throttle, and a basic set of Shimano shifters that are pretty typical in today's bikes. I do want to say that I'm pretty happy to see that the T7 does come with hydraulic disc brakes front and rear, and I think it's a must for bikes at this price point. Now, everything else about this bike is pretty typical when it comes to the cranks, the wheels, and the tires, but now let's talk about the battery and the motor. The T7 is running a 750 watt brushless motor that has a 1300 watt peak with 86 newton meters of torque. Now the battery pack on this bike is massive. It's a 48 volt 60 amp hour battery pack that can charge up to 2880 watt hours per charge. And with that motor and battery configuration, they claim that the bike can achieve between 110 and 130 miles of range depending on what pedal assist level you're in at a top speed of 28 miles per hour, as well as 80 to 100 miles of range on just pure throttle with a top speed of 32 miles per hour. So like I said earlier, foldable bikes have been around a really long time. The first patent was back in the late 1800s, and then they took the foldable bike and brought it to the military. I'm overlaying some images right now of them carrying it on their back through obstacles before missions. How insane is it? Not only have the foldable bikes come a really long way, but people, I guess, have kind of regressed, but that's for a different topic for a later video. Let's see if we can fold this bike up pretty quick and open it back up pretty quick. Starting with the pedals. You want to press them in and fold them up. And then there's a locking latch here. Open that up. Unlocking latch here. Open that up. And I usually pull the brakes while pushing my knee on the in part of the hinge. Pull the bike back to me. Fold the handlebar down. This is a bit of a task, like I said, because the battery is pretty heavy and it's still in there. Back pedal it up. Let it rest on its kickstand. And it's good to go. So it's pretty basic. So now when I go to open it back up, I wedge my body between, turn the bar, flip it up, lock it. Now I'll squeeze the brakes, pulling the bike up to me, let go of the front brake, let it bring itself around, press it together, you're good to go. Flip the pedals up, we're ready to ride. come a long way since then. Let's talk about the battery and my biggest gripe with that battery and the position where it's at. So now let's talk about the battery placement to be exact. So I'm gonna unlock the battery right now and show you why I have such a big problem with this. In order to get the battery out, I have to do this, which is the biggest pain in the butt ever. Other foldable electric bikes I've had here on the channel, there's a little button under here that would just release the seat and make it fold forward, and then you can get the battery out. Now, this battery is pretty heavy. It is a 48 volt, 60 amp hour battery pack with a max charge capacity of 2,880 watt hours, which is bonkers to even say out loud. But you need both hands to be able to get this thing out, right? Make sure you use both hands, pulling it out and guiding it on its track. And this thing is massive. Weighs more than my BMX bike for sure. This is probably like 30 to 35 pounds, not even gonna lie. Now, to put it back on here, I guide it by the bottom to make sure that the track sleeve goes in perfectly. It is a bit of a process to do so, I'm not gonna lie to you. So you might wanna keep it in the bike. After you have that done, you lock it back into the frame because you don't want this moving around. Plug it back in, and then now's the fun part. Finding out exactly where you had the seat. So there are numbers on the back of the seat post to be able to help you figure that out. And yeah, so that's my biggest gripe. Maybe they should put that on future models for sure. So now let's go test out all the pedal assist levels and the throttle only. So now the overview is out of the way, we know all the specs of the Gforce T7. Let's see if they can hold up to their claims, because that's all they really are, claims. There isn't any real proof to it until we put it right now on the screen. So with that being said, I'm pedaling the bike with no pedal assist, no power on at all, and it can ride like a traditional bike. It's not terrible. The Shimano gear system, I believe, could be better. I would much prefer maybe a higher gear selection, but it's doable. So with that being said, the claims of this are the higher range, which we talked about with the 110 to 130 miles, which we'll save for a separate video because I'm battling the weather here today. But we're gonna talk about the pedal assist levels right now. Let's power the bike on, see what we got. And it shows 23.7 miles on the odometer right now. Full battery still. It says I'm going 10 miles per hour. Whoa, it says pedal assist level right there. Let's put it in 0. Riding like a traditional bike. I'm gonna compare that speed to what's on the screen here on my phone. We're about 1 mile off, 2 miles off. Let's put in pedal assist level 1. Pedal assist level 2. Not bad. Nice little up kick there. Pedal assist level 3. Now there is a bit more power kick right there in pedal assist level 3, which I like. It's got a long take up right there. I felt it take a long time to get to it. You can ride this bike with no hands, feels good. Nice balanced weight to it. But the speed on the speedometer is not true to what I have here on my bike GPS. Let's see how true it is now when I hit the throttle only. So we're gonna use throttle only, and it has a claimed speed of over 25 miles per hour. We'll see. Shows 25 miles per hour on their odometer, 21 on mine, 28 on theirs, 24 on mine. And just keep following the speed, guys. So their top speed shows right now at 30, let's see, is it hit 32? 32.3, and I'm getting 26.7, 27 miles per hour. I mean, if I stay tucked, I'm closer to 28. There we go, 28 miles per hour. I'm not getting that 30 mile per hour that they're showing, or over 30 miles per hour they're showing on their odometer. But as you see there with the throttle only, I am losing a bit more juice. The battery pellet just disappeared on that display. But I mean, it feels like a comfortable ride. I just definitely don't feel like I'm going 34 miles per hour. I know what that feels like for my other electric bikes. So now let's take this over to a hill test. Look at that, no hands too, which is absolutely awesome. I do love the cruise control. Let's take this over to a hill test and braking test. All right, so I think it's safe to say the majority of you guys riding this bike are gonna be riding it in pedal assist level 3 or throttle only, especially on hills like this. So I'm gonna start at the same exact location, and we're gonna get this double switchback hill in pedal assist level 3. Let's go. A little bit of push, there we go. Keep going. Kind of slow on the takeoff. There we go, 10, 12 miles per hour. Pretty casual. Feels good. I feel a little bit of slag in the motor. I'm putting in some effort right now. That is for sure. Nobody coming down the hill, safe to go. Gonna go around this turn here. Oh my God, yes, this is definitely putting in some effort. And if that's your thing, then definitely this bike's the one for you, because it makes me want to hit the throttle on this hill, that's for sure. For how heavy this bike is and how soft the tires are, you really got to put the work in on these hills. This is the easiest part of the hill. Now comes the hardest part. Nobody's coming. This is the steepest part of the hill. Oh my God. Oh yeah, this is just like pedaling my traditional fat tire bike right now, except I normally would be standing up, but I don't think I could do it while holding on to the camera. So we're almost there, putting in that effort. Averaging 9-10 miles per hour, coming up to the top, and we made it. So it's definitely doable. Now let's try the throttle only. Now throttle only is probably one of my favorite features because it's gonna feel like a ski lift. You don't have to do any work. Taking off right now, just chilling. Oh yeah, and one of my favorite features about this bike, obviously, would be the cruise control. So after you hold the throttle for about 10 seconds, you can just chill. You can let go of it. And it literally is just taking you up the hill. There's somebody coming down this part of the hill, so we're gonna have to be a little careful going around the corner. A little braking around here. Throttle in. Here we go. How you doing? Come up to the second turn. Oh yeah, that bike just wants to go when it's in throttle only. Need to have more power in that pedal assist level 3. Right now, this is at the steepest part of the hill. We're hitting about 11 miles per hour, and I feel the motor working for sure. It's got like a bit of a grindiness to it, but it's doing the job. I mean, it's getting it done for sure. This is a 15-degree grade, like I said before. Not a lot of you guys are gonna have to use the bike on a 15-degree grade, but the cruise control is the way to go. So let's do our brake test right now on pedal assist level 3, see what type of top speed we can get, and then come to a complete stop right before the camera. A little over 20 miles per hour right now. We're gonna slam on the brakes in 3, 2, 1. And the brakes work really, really good, surprisingly. I mean, I guess it's kind of to be expected with knobby tires like that, but that's not bad. That was like a 10-foot stop. So in closing, is the Gforce T7 worth it? Is it one of the best foldable electric bikes that are out there? Well, I'm gonna be doing a second video here on this bike, doing a full range test, but as of right now, it fell short in my opinion on a lot of things. One of them being the weight. I mean, I understand the weight because of the battery. I mean, that thing is massive. Also the power output, pedal assist level 3, I was not impressed on the hill. It fell short in my opinion on that, as well as the throttle just felt a little grindy at the top of the hill. 750 watt motor needs to be bumped up to 1,000 watts in my opinion, especially at this price point. With that being said, I do not like how you have to take this battery out. You have to take the seat all the way out of the frame, and that's just not the way to do it. There have been other bikes I've had here on the channel where they've had a little release button that folded the seat up and made it really easy to gain access to that battery. With that being said, this bike's not terrible, but it's not the best foldable electric bike that I've ever ridden so far. With that being said, if you guys are looking for any more information on the Gforce T7, click the link in the description below. Also, support the channel. Check out the sponsor of today's video. And if you guys have any other suggestions for future videos, put them in the comments below. If you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.